Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the claymation version, classic. Nice. We used to watch it every year when we were growing up. My brother and I would always watch it while we were supposed to be putting up the tree.
Nice.
And so my mom ended up doing most of that while we watched Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
That is a classic. That's like one of the original, and that was a feature. It was pretty long too. Like that was a full.
It's actually shorter than you think. I think it's only around like a little over an hour runtime.
Yeah, well, that's still pretty long for a claymation cartoon,
especially when it was made. I don't know when I think it was made in the 50s.
I think that was the original clay. It was the original claymation. That must take forever.
64.
Imagine how tedious. There's some things in life that I could say like, nope, definitely not doing that.
Sorry, how long did you think the runtime was?
What do you mean?
How long do you think the runtime is of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
You just told me. You said it was an hour and a bit.
It's actually a little bit less, 55 minutes.
55, yeah. But still, it's a feature. It's not like a half hour. It's not a short. That's a full.
No. It's a full like movie.
Full narrative movie, and then with commercials, it ends up being an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Just consider how long it probably took them to make that claymation.
It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I would never ever sign up for that. Like I mad respect to the artists that do that, but just to be like and then step away and get it and just move move their little tiny feet and just like, oh my God, I'd be like, just move them to the end already. Just like, let's get some live people in there. Just you walk from there to here. All right. No need to move his legs and use clay.
It always looks so cool on film, though.
Yeah, it does look super cool.
I really do admire that style. Like,
is Tim Burton claymation too, or is that just animation?
Yeah, The Nightmare Before Christmas was claymation.
Right. And speaking of Nightmare Before Christmas, I'd say that as both a Halloween, that's a great movie because it makes both lists brilliant. They're like, how can we double the money here? Let's make a crossover movie, Halloween and Christmas, like not everyone, but a lot of people's two favorite holidays, if there is such a thing. And so that movie gets seen at Halloween like crazy and at Christmas like crazy. Brilliant. Great movie. Any others? Honorable mentions? Hallmark. We'll give Hallmark an honorable mention or movie of the week type things, just as there's like a ridiculous amount of them. Like
the best title of a Hallmark film that I've seen, I'm not sure if it was this past year or the year before, Planes, Trains, and Christmas Trees.
Nice. Direct ripoff. Yeah.
Oh.
Planes, Trains, and Christmas Trees. Yeah.
That was a great title. I never actually saw the film, but I'm assuming it's hilarious.
Right. Yes, it was starring Steve Martin and the ghost of John Candy.
Do you have any famous or favorite Hallmark titles, Lars?
I mean, to me they kind of all seem like the same all the time. Like, yeah, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but you hear it and you're like, oh, that's a Hallmark movie. Yeah, like they're obviously quite formulaic. It's kind of always the same thing. I'm gonna call up movie titles. Hallmark movie titles. An Unexpected Christmas, Lights, Camera, Christmas, A Magical Christmas Village, The 9 Lives of Christmas. Yeah, those are great. But they're iconic, and they're great because they give a lot of work too. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of them are shot in and around Toronto. Lots get shot in Ottawa, Hamilton. So it's a ton of work. So everyone loves to make fun of them, but people watch them. They get bought. They get sold. It's good work for people too. So yeah, it's fun. They're always fun and silly and light. You know what you're getting into, right? It's like there's not really like you don't watch one and be like, whoa, that was like genre busting. It was like that's what I signed up for. I signed up for some hot cocoa and a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yeah,
about saving Christmas. Small town is always a big city. Small city, there's always like big business versus small business. There's always an ex or a misconnection or a high school sweetheart, or someone's not quite happy in a relationship and they could choose something different, give it all up, move back to the small town.
Yeah,
High
start a
powered,
bakery.
start a bakery, you know, just
Classic.
Yeah, we need to raise, and the reason we need to start the bakery is to raise money at the bake sale to save Christmas.
Yeah. To
And
save the town.
to save the town, because crusty old Lord Business, he's trying to turn the whole thing into industrialized farming. He's just going to he's going to turn the whole town to a parking lot.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what I need to do with this town? I need to bulldoze the whole thing and turn it into a parking lot.
Start anew.
For my industrial farm. I'm gonna build the industrial farm just outside the town, and then I'm gonna bulldoze the town to be the parking lot for my industrial farm.
Yeah.
That's my plan, and you'll never stop me. And oh, by the way, I'm doing the paving on Christmas Eve. So if I get my way, by Christmas morning, this will be a parking lot, and all of your houses will be paved over.
Ooh, you know what? I'm going to give one more Christmas movie.
All right, do it.
The Muppets Christmas Carol.
Ooh, solid. Yeah, of course.
Muppets Christmas Carol, classic movie.
Right.
Should watch that.
Right.
Michael Caine, Kermit the Frog, as the worker. What's his name?
Classic. Oh, you know what one I just watched the other day? This is a new one to the list. It's really funny, and I really enjoyed it. It moves. There's tons. It's great. It is. I think it's called The Night Before. It's either called The Night Before or A Night Before. It's Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Anthony Mack, I think. Three of them. It's three buddies who they started a holiday tradition of getting all fucked up on the night before Christmas. And then they're getting older and they're starting families. So they decide to have one last blowout night. And they just go on a wild, crazy adventure. At one point, they get all separated and then they come back together. There's love stories woven in between it. It's a really funny bro comedy. Lots of weed jokes in it. Lots of Christmas and Hanukkah content. There's an epic party at the end. It's great. I would call it like a epic comedy bro Christmas. It's really funny.
Yeah. It is a good movie.
Highly recommend. Who's in it? Michael Shannon plays who's been in everything. I don't know if you look up Michael Shannon. He's been in a million things. He plays a drug dealer in it. And he's so intense. He's so funny. He's all his scenes. He's like, he just steals the scenes. It's great.
This isn't a Christmas movie, but that's why I love 50 Cent in the 22 Jump Street and 21 Jump Street.
Right.
His deadpan humor in both of those movies is absolutely hysterical. When he finds out that Jonah Hill has slept with his daughter, is maybe one of the funniest scenes I have ever watched.
Right. Shout out to 50 Cent.
Yes. Yeah. Great job, 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Crushing it.
All right.